Hi guys, this is week 28 Project Life, and this week I'm going to do a 5 favourite things, but this one is my Bestie edition. So my friend Trina and I had a little bit of an impromptu shopping trip to Spotlight, and we decided that it might be fun if she picked out 5 things for me to use on this week's Project Life. So let's have a look at what we're working with. The first thing Trina picked out was this 12 by 12 Maggie Holmes paper pad. That's the Carousel collection. And she also grabbed the Maggie Holmes sticker book, and I'm pretty excited because there are a lot of stickers in there. Trina grabbed these black thickers which were on sale. I do actually have those stickers already, but I'm going to use this brand new pack because mine has no E's. I know that she knows I like stitching on my Project Life, so she pulled out 3 different embroidery flosses for me to work with. She chose colours that would match that carousel pad, and she did pick out the little Fiskars punch down there. It's a wee cross-shaped one, and I added some other punches. I was a bit cheaty. I added some other punches and thought I might use some of those as well. So that's what I'm working with. Let's get started. Now, I will say that I struggled a little bit with this week. I haven't been feeling that great the last couple of days, and I just was in a little bit of a creative funk when I forced myself to go ahead and do this week's page. And it occurred to me later on that probably a big reason for me not feeling great while I was creating this was that I had had 0 coffee today. So I remedied that as soon as I realised, but it was not soon enough to help me with this page. Now, I think one of the things that was the hardest was having these 12 by 12 papers. The scale of them just isn't, it just isn't right for the smaller sort of pocket scales. So I did struggle with some of the papers. I cut up that first cut apart sheet thinking that that would help me with the 3 by 4 cards, but there literally were only 2 pieces on that cut apart sheet that were actually 3 by 4. Everything was either sort of about 3.5 high or a little bit narrower, so that was a bit of a fail too. And then I cut up the pink and green paper, but again the scale was just not right to cut down to 4 by 6, so it didn't matter how I cut them. It just looked really weirdly placed. So I gave up on that and went back to the paper pad and found this it's got sort of a creamy colour with a gold glitter stripe in it, and I cut that down into 6 by 4 cards. And you can see me shuffling them around again because I liked it, but I didn't want to have it in 2 different places, so I'm sort of trying to force myself to use the pieces that I've already cut up instead of going back to the paper pad. And I decided to start looking through the stickers and see if that gave me any ideas. And I found this one sort of banner sticker to go in my empty spot on the sky photo up there. And it was after that I realised, well, I want this to look kind of, I guess, a bit busier than normal. So I did pull out this label paper right at the start because I really loved it. And I assumed that I would use it to cut it apart and create a whole bunch of labels, but I decided there was no reason that I couldn't cut a 4 by 6 card out of that and have a more busier sort of pattern to start the page off with. So I used a 4 by 6 piece of card to sort of work out whereabouts on that sheet I wanted to cut the 4 by 6 out of. And now I finally can get on with sort of starting my page. So I stuck down my larger photo. It's sort of a 3 by 3 square here, and then I'm going to use that Fiskars punch along the bottom to create a border on the card, and I really love this punch. It's so fun, and I could have left that little punched line clear like that, but I'm going to back it with some of the 4 by 6 cards that I've already cut down, a darker tealy colour paper, just to really help it stand out, because otherwise it would get a little bit lost in the pocket. And this page is going to be obviously back to back with something else, so it will just end up having the white of a card probably behind it, so I wanted to make sure it stood out. Now I had, like I said, pulled out the sticker, the banner sort of sticker to put there, and you're going to see me flip through this sticker book a lot, guys, because there are like I said, so many stickers in here. I'm gonna say almost too many. It's really hard to pick them for me, especially when I was feeling a little bit indecisive like I was this morning. So I do go back and forth through this sticker book many times. I think there's 30 pages of stickers, and so you could be indecisive about it. You could take a long time to choose which stickers you want to use. So eventually I do get a little bit more decisive about it. You can see me here, I've pulled out a few and just had stuck them onto the paper card there. That glitter card, because of the glitter on there, you can see here I'm about to pull off the photo again. It doesn't stick particularly, nothing sticks particularly well to that paper. So it was safe enough to put those stickers onto the card. I just tapped them on there. They weren't going to stick on there fully. And I ended up not using any of the ones that I had chosen for that photo of me and Lil either. I ended up putting a little sentiment sticker on there, and I really love it. It says something along the lines of the little things become the big things. And I figured since I got a photo of my little dog, then that worked really well. The Think Happy sticker was perfect for my selfie. I took the dog for a walk, and basically the moment I left the house it just absolutely bucketed down, so we both got totally saturated, and that definitely I definitely needed the Think Happy sticker there. And the same goes with this one here. It said loving this, but we weren't loving this. This was us up at super early in the morning to go to the hospital to get blood tests done. So I just cut off the little arrow because it didn't quite fit on the 3x4 there, and then added those tiny little gold letters that says not loving this. And the first photo that I'd done up the top there, I added a little Friday sticker to it, and so I've done the same thing on the loving this card, and I will do it one more time down the bottom left there too, because I don't necessarily know which day all of these photos were taken, but I did know those 3, and I liked the idea of having some idea of the days of the week on there. Now I'm going to do the same thing down here, add the little mail in the tiny stickers, the tiny gold stickers to the word happy, so happy mail from Kelly Stamps there. And I like that the word happy is just really light on that card. It kind of is almost like a background to it. Now you've seen me shuffle these photos around a lot this week, but that's because there's 3 of my face on there, and I didn't necessarily want them all lined up one on top of each other, so I am trying to distribute those. My project lives are never they're never organized photo wise by day, just by what looks good, so it doesn't worry me that they're not chronologically in order. Now I'm cheating a little bit. I mean, is it cheating? I'm still using the embroidery floss, but I'm not actually going to do any stitching on this layout. I just added a tiny piece onto the sticker. The sticker that I used on that photo of me and Lil, it had 2 holes like it was a wee tag. So I just threaded, stitched it through there and added a wee bow, and I love the texture that gives. Now, one thing I did note is that these stickers are definitely not cardstock, they are definitely paper stickers, so they are really thin and fragile. I grabbed my thicker guide to see if this happiness sticker would fit across here, and it does, except that you can see there the end, yeah, I totally ripped one piece of it off there, so I'm being super careful to try and lift it off, and I kept the piece I had ripped and I managed to stick it down. It's not very neat, but you can still see that it says happiness, and that's where I'm adding the 3rd little date sticker on there, so that says Sunday. Back to my sticker book again, because I wanted to add something else above the word happiness. There's still quite a large gap in there. This was a Sunday. I had been super crafty, so the complete opposite of today. I was really feeling it, and the 3 tape runners there, I used 3 tape runners in one day. I filmed like 9 videos. It's an all-time record for me. Now what I realized was that I could still cut apart that label paper and add a few more labels, and it might make Might make the label paper at the top seem a bit more cohesive because there are labels elsewhere on the spread. But when I went and looked back again at the paper, I've got that same issue that the pattern is really large, so the labels are really big and are going to take up way too much room on my photos. But luckily the sticker book came to the rescue and there are a million different labels in here, so I'm just adding a few more of those to my spread as well. Now, while I was going through the sticker book for the umpteenth time, I realized I've got this little theme going here. So the banner sticker that I added and the border that I punched down the bottom have got this sort of cross plus theme going. And there are a bunch of those stickers in this book too. So I tried to add some to my 3x4, but it was just far too busy. So I peeled those back off again and added them to some of the empty white space on this photo, and then added a sentiment onto the label. Now my title card, I was going to keep really simple because the paper is really busy. All I'm going to do is add these black thickers and spell out week 28 and then just date stamp. My camera did die a little bit, but you haven't missed anything. It's just that I decided to move the letters down a little bit so that I can date stamp into this pink label here, and then the date isn't too far away from my actual title. I messed up the stamping, as I inevitably do every week, so I'm just going to use my gel pen just to make sure that you can see the date on there. Now I'm pretty much done. I just realized that I've got a label down here with nothing in there, so I want to add a little bit more of a sentiment, and then I found these gold crosses, so I'm going to add a couple of those as well. And it's just a matter of picking out which sentiment I want to use. I do grab one. I was thinking about these gold ones, but in the end I just want something little that's going to fit into the label. And this one fits nicely, and that is my page all done. This was a real challenge for me. I think 12 by 12 papers made it a little bit more challenging, but I super love how it turned out, and that sticker book is awesome. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you want to keep watching, there's a couple more videos on screen, or why not check out my Patreon page because there are even more videos over there. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!